Coach, opening statement.
You know, with so many newcomers, you don't know exactly what's going to happen when there's butts in the seats and the real stripes come on. You don't know how they're going to handle that at all. And I will tell you, I think it was one of the best first halves that we've had in quite some time. Even with our starting five, yes, we turned it over to start the game, but then I think we settled in, and I think that group did a great job, and then our subs off the bench brought the energy we needed them to bring. I think we can all see that we do have some depth that's going to allow us to do a lot of different things. We have a lot to learn. And it was a great game for us to learn a lot of things from. I thought William Carey, played hard. They lost a lot of players last year to graduation, but I tell you, I think they're going to be really, really good. I'd said this in the pregame with Jason Baker, that I think they have a chance to be really good. Their one post player was out. I think that was probably a difference for them. But they play really hard. They're very well coached. And I'm just really proud the way our players handled their pressure when they threw the press at us. When we were able to we really put the heat on them. I do think in that first quarter is our defense generated a lot of easy buckets for us. Even on their missed shots, when they were shooting it quick, it gave us opportunities to get layups.
Question for Coach.
Does it feel like a very distant memory when you trailed them at the half last year?
Honestly, the only time I thought about that is when we were watching film on them. You just kind of, there's so many other games you don't remember. And I just know last year they played extremely well. We did not play well, but they were very, very good. They had a very experienced squad last year. And so, again, we had a lot of newcomers. They had a lot of newcomers. I don't know that neither one of us knew what was going to happen. So, again, when we watched that film, I was like, this cannot happen. My concern was going into the game is after seeing that and some of our players seeing those clips, that they were going to be able to think the same thing. They were going to be real relaxed in taking this game on. And praise the Lord, we weren't.
Is it, since then, it feels like there's a really high expectation, especially coming off
Yes.
of the co-regular season champion. Can you kind of speak to that, just of what makes you feel like there's a higher expectation for this
Well,
year?
I think number one, we returned the 4 leading scorers from last year. And those 4 players really have an understanding of what it takes to be successful here and what it takes to play here. And then you add a host of newcomers that's has a very high ceiling, has a lot of potential, brings a lot of different things to our team that what we did not have a year ago. And I think when you mix those groups together and see how they've blended, I think, sure, the expectation's got to go higher. We didn't have people last year that can consistently shoot a 3-ball. And we've got a couple that can shoot a 3-ball, that can spread the floor to give Malia opportunities to be able to work inside. And I just think that alone is a game changer. Then you add someone like Nyla Jean to the mix that is just solid as a rock when it comes to a point guard. She had 1 turnover. She's not going to do anything fancy. She's going to make a 3-ball when she has to, and she's going to control the offense. And so I think that addition, then you add Morgan Sieper, which I have said is the most committed player on this team, hands down. And she is the one that lives in this gym, that everybody knows by name. Even the cleaning crew knows who she is because she is in here constantly. So I think that when you combine those two together, it just gives us an opportunity to really believe that we can really soar this year and have a great year.
Yeah.
I think the key is injuries. Got to keep people healthy.
Sorry, but to add on that, Morgan, it just felt like when she was hitting that 3-ball, she just kept getting hotter and hotter. It's kind of like a roller coaster season, a long way to go. How important is it for her to start off, on a good note?
I think it's very important, and I just believe in Morgan shooting the 3-ball. Why? Because she puts in the time. She puts in the time. She may go 0 for 3, but I'm telling you, she's going to hit the next one because of how much time she spends in this gym and works and shoot it. But it would be key for us to trail on that break, then they can't double down on Malia. They just can't. A lot of times last year, They didn't guard our 4 players. They didn't. People packed it in. This year they're going to have to do that because Jacoria Bracey's really improved her 3-ball shooting as well. So I think at our 4 spots, you know, we have a lot more versatility to what we're able to do. And from those spots, Bracey and Morgan both can play the wing as well as they can play the 4 spot. But I just think it's important. We've got to continue to shoot the ball and shoot the ball well.
So, of course, with Akron up next Saturday, any takeaways from this game that you would like to bring in against Akron?
Well, number one, I think our effort has to be more consistent. We left several offensive rebounds on the board. We only had 13 offensive rebounds, and there were right at 31 missed shots. You can't have 31 missed shots and only have 13 offensive rebounds. That's not very good. That's not very good at all. We've got to do a better job of boarding the basketball, and it's got to come from everybody, not just 1 or 2 players. I think also having 18 turnovers, you can't have 18 turnovers against Akron. They're going to be a very, very good squad. They got a new coach. You know, they're picked 3rd in their league. We're picked 3rd in our league, so it's like the battle of the threes. So we've got to really be able to step up and make strides defensively, make strides offensively, and that's what I told some of them. Some of them are disappointed in their play. Just go get rebounds. Go get rebounds. That's not that hard, and you'll get an opportunity to play.
So one more for Coach.
I'll ask one. So, of course, with Dom in the room, so as you know, she just crossed the 1,000-point margin. So I want to ask, where is her legacy in Lady Eagles history?
You know, there's not many players that can come in and in basically 3 years score 1,000 points. That not many people do that. And, you know, she's able to make a difference. Dom's growth in our program has been absolutely amazing of how far she has come. And I think today is evident not only of her scoring, but her efficiency across the board when you look at what she was able to do today. You know, she had a high shooting percentage. She was able to create opportunities for other people. I think defensively she did a pretty good job. Now that's an area we want to constantly work with her on. But again, I thought her leadership, if you'll notice when we're in our matchup zone in our 55, she's able to talk a lot. But Dom wants to compete. That's the one thing I think that separates her from a lot of people, is just the willingness to compete. So ever since she's been here, she's had that willingness to compete. And again, I think that helps separate her.
Thank y'all.